The Savior exemplified respect for the worth and the abilities of women. He lived in a time when women were commonly considered spiritually inferior to men. They were not expected or encouraged to read the Scriptures. Their opinions were not sought on religious matters. However, the Savior valued them and called upon them to assist in the work. Women were the recipients of his blessings and healings, the subjects of his parables, and the testators of his divinity. The first recorded declaration by Jesus that he was the Messiah was made to a Samaritan woman. Mary and Martha were numbered among the Savior's closest friends. Spiritual lessons were taught through his association with them. He appeared first to women after his resurrection, and he used these women to inform the apostles of the most important event in all history, his glorious resurrection. There are many more examples. The proclamation on the family affirms that men and women have different purposes and responsibilities. Both are needed in the church, and leaders must hear the voices of both to effectively prepare their members. There are many more women who are active in the church than men. Women held the church together in England during and for some time after World War II. In Russia, Guatemala, Philippines, and many other places, an average branch will have 40 members attend sacrament meeting. 10 would be men, and 30 would be women, youth, and children. The priesthood cannot shepherd their flocks alone. Women want to assist in accomplishing the mission of the church. We sometimes send unintended messages to our sisters. In a study we did about 5 years ago in the United States, we found that only 56% of our active sisters felt that the priesthood leaders in their wards were interested in the women's views about decisions that affect women. Perhaps with the increased emphasis on using councils, this has changed. We certainly hope so. The question today is, to what extent do leaders of stake and ward councils encourage discussion and input from all council members? Are the ideas and opinions of women leaders actively sought, listened to, and taken seriously? As you know, President Hinckley is anxious that each member feels welcome and at home in the church. He has called for special attention to the new convert. The ward council is critical to making sure converts and recently activated members are properly nurtured. It is in the ward council that the various organizations in the ward become involved in this process. The work of the ward council in caring for these converts and recently activated members must be more than just making sure the proper assignments are made. The assignments are a means to an end, that of effectively watching over one another. The ward council must also focus on that end and do all that they can to make sure the assignments have their desired effects in the lives of these precious souls. Capture the vision that the Relief Society, young women, primary, young men, and elders' quorums and high priest groups can become the most powerful friendshipping resource we have in the church. Reach out early to those being taught and reactivated and love them into the church. You stake presidents and bishops, picture yourselves for a moment as the conductor of a symphony orchestra. Can you conduct a symphony with only a few brass or string instruments? To make beautiful music, you need the full orchestra to participate. All members of the symphony must play a different part and come in at different times, but each has a crucial role to play. Let me illustrate. Listen carefully to Tchaikovsky's Concerto No. 1 with the brass instruments only. Let's add some woodwind instruments to add subtle nuance and sensitive color to the flair of the brass instruments. Now, let's add some string instruments. Note that they play a different part and come in at different times. Finally, listen to the full orchestra when the percussion instruments are added to give distinctive power and variety. All leaders must conduct council meetings as a full symphony orchestra. Leaders cannot accomplish the threefold mission of the church unless all council members participate and contribute effectively. Remember, council members have different roles and they come in at different times, but they all have crucial parts to play. There is unbelievable power when the priesthood and the sisters contribute in harmony and work synergistically to accomplish the work of the church. In fact, the work leaps forward when this happens. May the Lord bless all of us to capitalize on the power of the council system of the church.